All right, Mademoiselle Pickle.
Rankings.
It is time to unveil some rankings. We're continuing to roll out the preseason Texas high school football rankings in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Of course, we are the official rankings provider of the Associated Press, so we're proud of that. These are the Texas high school football rankings of record. Today, because we're running out of time, we're about to take all next week off.
Yeah.
And we got to get this thing out the door. So we're going to unveil both 4As. We're going to do 4A Division 2 and then 4A Division 1. We're going to start with 4A Division 2, where the number 10 team in the rankings is the Panthers of Geronimo Navarro. Start the year number 10 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. 12 starters are back from last year's 10-win squad. They just roll out of bed and win 10 games. This is a really impressive bunch that Navarro has put together. What I like about this year's team, bring back 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen. This is a team that has a lot of quality playing time on their roster. That's going to help them there in Region 4. I would say one of the, on the short list of favorites in Region 4, Geronimo Navarro starts the year number 10 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. To number 9, the Silsbee Tigers, the number 9 team to start the year in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Coming off a disappointing 5-5 season, we think that they took their lumps last year and they're ready for a surge. 16 starters are back from last year's squad, including Draylon Miller, the superstar wide receiver. They have a very strong junior class as well. This is a team that I think is going to be a little bit young at points, but I think that the lumps that they took last year are going to fuel them. I think they're a contender in Region 3. Silsbee starts the year number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 8, from Region 3 to Region 1 we go. The Glen Rose Tigers, the number 8 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football to start the season. And this is one of those teams that it's easy when I read you the stats, it's easy to see why they're ranked. A 10-win team from a year ago, 10 starters on offense back, including every one of their offensive linemen, and 7 starters on defense back, including 3 3-year starters at linebacker. Okay? They bring back a ton. I think they're going to be a bona fide contender there in Region 1. They are a team to keep an eye on. Glen Rose starts the year number 8 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I also think one other thing about Glen Rose. I think that them moving from Region 2 to Region 1 is going to help them.
Yep.
That's me. To number 7. The Wimberley Texans are the number 7 team to start the year in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. The offense is going to carry them early because this is a pretty young defense, just 2 starters back on the defensive side. But they are a team that I think the offense is ready to roll. They have some depth concerns, certain issues, but if the defense can come around, this is a Wimberley team that I think can make a deep run. They start the year right now as the favorites in Region 4 over their district bunkmate Geronimo Navarro, but it figures to be a fun race. Keep an eye on Wimberley. The Texans are the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. To number 6 we go, a program that needs no introduction. The Cuero Gobblers, the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football to start the year. A state semifinalist from last year's team is going to have to reload on the offensive side. That's one question for them. But the defense is pretty much almost entirely intact. 8 starters are back on the defensive side from a state semifinalist. This is a team that I think has an opportunity to really be dangerous. And another interesting thing, they move from Region 4 to Region 3. What does that do for them? Well, for now, we put them on the short list of contenders in Region 3. Cuero starts the year number 6 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Let's flip sides to the bracket for number 5 to find a team in Region 2. The Pleasant Grove Hawks are the number 5 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I said it the entirety of last year during the playoff run. Mm-hmm. Y'all messed up by letting them play 4 playoff games.
Yep.
This is a team that was super young, that found their way as the season went on, finished with the weird 8-6 record. That's because they went into the playoffs at 5-5 and then got white hot. Y'all messed up letting them get that kind of experience. This is a dangerous Pleasant Grove team. They've got speed. They've got plower. They've got playmakers. This is one of the most complete teams that Josh Gibson has ever had. This is a team that is going to be one of the most talented teams. They have a lack of experience at some points, which is really the only thing holding them down at this point. Keep an eye on Pleasant Grove. They're one of the contenders in a loaded Region 2. They start the year number 5. Number 4. Find the favorites in Region 3. The West Orange Stark Mustangs are the number 4 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football, a regional finals from last year. New coach Hiawatha Hickman is ready to take over for legendary coach Cornell Thompson, and he has a plenty to be excited about. 15 starters are back from last year's 11-win squad. They've got playmakers at every skill position. The fronts are a question. But Hiawatha Hickman is known to coach him up. It's going to be very interesting. This is a team that should contend for a district championship. It's a team that should contend for a regional championship and potentially could contend for it all if they're able to solve those questions up front. West Orange Stark starts the year number 4 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. From the favorite in Region 3 to the favorite in Region 1, the Wichita Falls Hirschi Huskies are the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. A loaded offense. 8 starters are back from a team that made it to the state semifinals last year and came within a whisker of playing for a title. They do have to replace a couple of key pieces, especially on the defensive side, with just 4 starters back, and they do have a new head coach with Antonio Wiley leaving for Coppell. But that said, the momentum behind this program is palpable. This looks like a team ready to contend for it all. The Wichita Falls Hirschi Huskies start the year number 3 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Only 2 spots left. Number 2, the Gilmer Buckeyes are the number 2 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football, state finalist from a year ago. Need to replace a quarterback in Brandon Tennyson, and they need to replace a couple of key pieces on the offensive line. But they've got playmakers like Rohan Fluellen back. They've got defense that is going to be dangerous and deep. But this is a team that, in many respects, expects greatness, and they should be one of those on that very short list of teams to win a state championship. If they can replace offensive linemen and quarterback, that's the real questions there. But make no mistake, they are a bona fide, star-studded ball club, and I fully expect them to be back in the mix. They start the year number 2 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. But they are not even the favorite in their own region. That belongs to the number 1 team in the state, the Carthage Bulldogs. Start the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. After a disappointing by their standards run to the regional semifinals last year, this is a team that is absolutely loaded offensively. They took their lumps offensively last year, but they are back, and they may be bringing a buzzsaw with them. This offense is going to be extremely dangerous. Furthermore, the offense is going to give them an opportunity early to allow their defense, which does only bring back 3 starters, to grow as the season goes on. There's going to be a different-looking Carthage bunch than it was last year, but nevertheless, I think they're the best team in 4A Division II. They're the team to beat in 4A Division II, the number 1 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. So there you have it. The top 10 in 4A Division II to start the year. Number 10, Geronimo Navarro. Number 9, Silsbee. Number 8, Glen Rose. Number 7, Wimberley. Number 6, Cuero. Number 5, Pleasant Grove. Number 4, West Orange Stark. Number 3, Wichita Falls Hirschi. Number 2, Gilmer, and the number 1 team in the state, the Carthage Bulldogs. That would leave you with de facto semifinals of Wichita Falls, Hirschi, and Carthage, and then West Orange Stark and Wimberley would be your semifinals there.
West Orange Stark and Wimberley would be tasty.
The power nexus is, I think, pretty clearly in Region 2. Carthage, Gilmer, Pleasant Grove. We didn't even mention a team like Aubrey or Van, which could be very dangerous. Sunnyvale.
Van got hot last year.
I've got high hopes for Sunnyvale as well. That's the real power nexus, I think. 3 of the top 5 are there. What's interesting, I'm really interested in Glen Rose. Mm-hmm. Glen Rose is a team that's got a ton of experience. The offense is going to hum. I also think they're in a manageable region, and they would see a team like
moving over to Region 1 helps
them tremendously.
Yeah.
Now, Hirschi dropping down from Division 1 to Division 2 is going to be, that's a D1 semifinalist dropping down. So that'll be interesting to watch. That's, to me, the chief contender. Those are the 2, is Glen Rose and Hirschi in Region 1. There's other more star-studded regions, but Region 1 is really where I think there's a lot of intrigue.
Well, and 4A D2 is always interesting because a lot of times when we look at any classification, it kind of seems like Region 4 is always kind of who's going to come out of it. And when you have Wimberley and Geronimo Navarro, that's one of the best Region 4s in the entire state.
I'd even throw Sinton in there, and I'd even throw a team like Lago Vista, which is 3AD1 semifinalist moving up. That could be in the
4AD2 is going to be wild.
It is going to be wild.
That's the one, just looking at the teams that you just have I think Carthage is a great number 1 pick. That they got to be the favorite, right?
But at the same time, here's the thing. They're going to have to go through Gilmer, Pleasant Grove, Aubrey, Van. They're going through the toughest. One of these teams.
You can't stub your toe.
Exactly right. They will be tested, most certainly. So, very interested in 4A Division 2.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.